Alright, y'all. So, the other day I took the REO around the yard quite fast and did my best to get through all the gears, but in fourth gear I couldn't get the rear differential to shift into high. So, I went looking for a new diaphragm for my little 2-speed shifter here, and I think I got one that's going to work. So I'm going to be taking this off here and seeing if I can't just get it cleaned up and get that old diaphragm replaced and give it another try. So I'm going to get to it and I'll catch up with y'all again once I get it off of here. Alright, y'all, I got it off. I got it taken apart. And I found at least 2 problems with it, why it won't be working right. Fortunately, this diaphragm was not cracked or busted. So it was actually still okay. I'm going to replace it anyways because I managed to get a brand new one. It wasn't made for this specifically, as it was a GM part number, and well, they also have a Bendix part number. Of course, well, this was made by Bendix. If you can read that label down there or not. It doesn't really have a part number. This was pre-part number. It has a patent number, and that don't match up. But the bolt holes are the same, the ribs are the same. It'll work. Got that from these guys, REI Truck Parts. Rebuilders Enterprise. Let's see if I can't get there. Alright. So they actually make this brand new. So this isn't just a new old stock part. That's a brand new piece of rubber, which is why I got it. I was hoping it'd work, and I just confirmed it'll fit. But the shaft seal in here is worn out. I went ahead and popped it out, so I have to get me a replacement. Let me see if I can't uncover them numbers there. So I'll take this in the house and look it up and get me a replacement. And also the little rubber plug that goes in here, well, it was pretty petrified and it broke apart. So I'm probably going to make a new one out of TPU on my 3D printer. I'm sure that caused a vacuum leak, and that seal being bad caused a vacuum leak on the other side. I had to wipe this off. It was just absolutely covered in gear oil from that rear end. But for tonight, I'm going to go ahead and take and clean these parts here off with my laser. These are actually metric pipe threads. I could probably find some replacement parts, but this one ain't too bad, so I'll just clean it up and well, I'll probably just weld a new piece of tube on the end of this one, get rid of that jagged end, and just reuse those. I got some new gasket material, so I'll just make me a new gasket for the flange. I tried getting that piece off in as one piece as I could. This looks like some type of sealer. It's all dried up and petrified. It might have been a glue. I don't know, but I'll clean that off, and I'll probably just seal that up with some black RTV when I put it back together. So, yeah, you can see how dirty that was in there. But as for the housing, I'm going to go ahead and get it cleaned up. I know this is zinc coated. I'm probably not going to laser the inside here because I don't want to destroy that finish in there. But this outside is getting kind of rusty and crusty, and well, the finish ain't so good on the outside no more. So I'm going to go ahead and clean it off, and I'll just powder coat the outside here when I get done. I'm going to have to order some new parts, so I ain't going to get this back together tonight. But I'll see what I can get done as far as cleaning it up, and then I'll take my seals and stuff in the house and see if I can't just find some replacements. 3D print my new plug. Alright. Alright, y'all, just pulled it out of the powder coating oven. It don't look too bad. Managed to get it to look nice and chrome. And I think it's the plug that went in this hole here that was actually my leak. As you can see, it was a wee bit petrified, so I went ahead and made me a new one up in Tinkercad and 3D printed it out of TPU. Can't touch this yet because it's still really hot. But I got a new seal for the inside coming. It should be here in the mail tomorrow. So I'll get that put in, get the new diaphragm installed and plug, and see if I can't just fix that one end that goes in here that's broke off. Re-extend it out. Ain't no big deal if I can't. I had the hose on it. Now, I can't show you out there right now because it's dark, but I actually took the laser and I cleaned up all around on that differential where this goes, get all the grease and crud off of it. And I think most of that came from that seal that goes right in here, allowing it to leak. There's actually two seals. There's a wiper seal for the shaft, but then there's also another seal. And when I took this off, it was full of gear oil. So I think it was leaking down through here and running down in between, one side or the other, and probably leaking out around the little rubber that went in there. Because like I said, this was full of gear oil, and the side of that differential was absolutely caked with dust and gunk. Whew, alright y'all, since it's daytime, I figured I'd come on out and show you what all I got cleaned up here on that differential last night with the laser. I know it don't look like much, but this here is the area I was concerned with getting clean. I want to put a little bit of paint all in around here. So I made sure I got that part cleaned up at least. And it might not look as clean as one might hope, but let me take you around the other side so you can see about what I had to take off of that. Because I didn't get the other side cleaned up yet. And yeah, it was crusty kind of like this here. Now I'll get this side cleaned up later, but I just wanted to get that over there cleaned up and painted so that it won't be in the way when I'm going to clean the rest of this with the laser up, or scraping and brushing. I ain't gonna be able to do it all with the laser, but I'll get as much as I can off of there with it. Alright y'all, well, I didn't get the whole differential painted. I managed to get paint all up on this area here where I was gonna reinstall that actuator. So that'll be good enough for now. I still gotta do the underside, the back, and of course clean up that mucky mess there on the other side, but that gives me plenty of buffer room to not have to paint or do anything over here after I put that back on. So I'm gonna get back in there and get to assemble it best I can for now. Alright y'all, so it's hot, but my seals arrived. It actually came as a 2-pack. It's not the same as the seal that was in here, but it's the functional equivalent, but for a modern seal. So I'm going to go ahead and just set this down in there just like that, the way it goes. And I'm going to take my socket, I'm going to go over the anvil and get that tapped into place. And I'll be all ready to put this new diaphragm in. I've already got it mounted up last night and sealed up. And it'll be ready to go back on the truck. Alright y'all, it's all hooked up and on there now. So I'm going to take it for a test drive and see how it does. It's definitely looking better on there now. Should be sealed better, and maybe I can get it to go into 4th high. Something I couldn't do before because it just acted like it was going in neutral.